One thing I'm learning during this whole process of running a marathon, well, training to run a marathon, is that there's something that's held me back and I want to overcome. That's the try. In the past, when I would be training, lifting or whatever, if I was sick, I just wouldn't work out. There's times in this training process where I have to work through sickness and not feeling good. But there's also times where I am sick and I don't feel good and I'm laying in bed and I'm not at work and I don't work out that day. The problem that I run into with that is that I didn't even try to see if I could do it. I had decided beforehand, well, I don't feel good enough to run. Now, again, there is, of course, sicknesses that prevent you from running and things that you shouldn't, test out to see if maybe, you can run through them. Obviously, those are the cases I'm not speaking of. We know the cases that I'm speaking of. We know the times when we're debating whether or not we feel good enough to go to the gym or we feel good enough to go out and do the training run. And my thing is like, I want to at least try. At least if I get out there, I run a few hundred yards, a mile, whatever, and I'm like, dude, I don't feel good. I want to throw up, whatever it is. At least I tried, and I can go home and be like, look, I tried. I put my all into it, and I just couldn't hack it today, and I'm just going to take a rest day. And that's perfectly fine. But I have found myself more often than not deciding beforehand that I can't do it when I am in that place where it is possible for me to train. I just need to try and see if it's possible. The other thing that I find is that I never thought I'd be the guy who runs on holidays, but I have become that guy. This past Christmas, our trainer had scheduled a Christmas run, and I told my brother Josh, who's training for the marathon with me, I was like, there's no way that I'm running on Christmas. It's just not happening. And he was like, yeah, well, I am. And it kind of like, I decided up until late that night, like, I'm not running in the morning. It's too late. I'm staying up too late. And, it kind of, I guess, bothered me that he was doing it and I wasn't. And I can't, let him beat me in these things. If he's going to do it, then why can't I do it? So I decided to run on Christmas morning, and I got up earlier than I normally would, and I went and did my 4 miles, and I had a great run. I had a good time for my pace, and it was great, and I felt good afterwards. And I also felt like really good for being that guy out there that's putting in the work on Christmas Day. So my challenge to you, and this is a challenge for myself, is where are we not even trying? And that's something I'm going to be examining going forward is how can I put more effort into the try? And by effort, I mean at least just trying and seeing if I can push through it. I had an injury to the arch of my foot, so our coach Nicodemus told me to take today off from running and go for a bike ride. I got home from work, wasn't feeling great, but I'm going to just try and push through it. I just finished the Christmas Day run. Like I said, I wasn't gonna do it, but Josh did it, so I was like, well, kind of got to do it. Plus I woke up like 10 to 7-ish, and I was like, well, I could go back to sleep and sleep a little bit, or I can go run. And I know I'm gonna probably eat too much today, so you gotta make up for that somehow. Got to keep Huggy McNiff happy with the nutrition level. So, but yeah, so I'm really glad I did it. It's done. And it's really motivating for me to be out here on Christmas running, because I've seen people doing it, and I never thought I'd be one of those people. But, my hardest run so far was 2 days ago, and it was 4.5 miles on a treadmill with 4 miles. At a specific pace, and that was the hardest run I've done so far. And then you know, I ran like, I don't know, I stood at like 9:31 and finished at a 10-minute mile. So I averaged like 9:45 probably a mile. And then today I just ran 4 miles and I did 9:15, which is my fastest time yet. So 4 miles for 9:15 average, that's pretty good. So I think for me the mental part is really in the treadmill, but you know, we'll see. But enough rambling. Hope you guys have a good holiday, and we'll talk to you later.